Glenn, Speaker Ryan comes to Boeing today. We've seen CEO Dennis Muhlenberg visit the White House, visit President Trump a couple times now since he's been president. What does this say about the federal government and Boeing?
It says the federal government's a huge customer for Boeing. Is why? Because we think of Boeing here in the Northwest, we think of commercial airplanes primarily, but also think about tankers that are made in Everett. We think of the P-8 Poseidon that is made for the U.S. Navy down in Renton and over at Boeing Field, and that's just what's here. You think St. Louis, it's F-18s, it's F-15s, you talk about rockets, you talk about other weapon systems, it just goes on and on and on. Space, it just doesn't end. Security, see, I keep going on.
Right. It doesn't mean that Boeing is a Republican-leaning company or corporation.
No, I mean, the company has always been very politically oriented. If you go back to any administration back in 2015, we were down in Renton because Secretary of State John Kerry was here. Under the Obama administration, they were pushing the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which you and I have talked about quite a bit in the past. Obviously, that is now off the table because of what the Trump administration has done, but there are a lot of different issues on the table for this company.
Speaker Ryan said he was here basically to talk about tax reform.
Right.
Is Boeing for it or against it?
Boeing is for it. There's a lot of details that we still need to know about tax reform, but they're definitely pushing for it. Dennis Muhlenberg is head of an organization of aerospace companies pushing forward for tax reform as well. So they're in that camp.
Are we talking tax reform or tax benefits, tax shelters, tax?
Well, the idea seems to be to simplify the tax system.
Okay.
How easy that will be to do practically and politically, we're going to have to see once Congress comes back from its August recess right now to see if that can get done and when that can get done. But basically what Paul Ryan was talking about today is that, look, Boeing has to pay a 35% tax rate versus 25% for Airbus versus 15% for the Chinese. But you have to also remember, against that tax rate of 35%, Boeing gets a lot of deductions, and they have been criticized in the past for not paying income taxes because they can take off the billions of dollars that they spend on losses on the 787, investment, and other things like that.